Hello, we're Gosforth Princess Trust Team 13 with Tyne we have Fire and Rescue Service.
For our community project, we decided we wanted to look into youth unemployment in the North East and what is being done to stop the rise in statistics.
We thought a good way to do this was to make a short documentary in which we find out what barriers we have faced as young people when looking for work.
We also thought it would be good to talk to lean employers, agencies that deal with unemployment.
We are currently taking part in the Princess Trust 12-week personal development programme, which is helping us to develop our confidence, motivation, personal skills and job search skills to make us more employable.
There are 13 of us on the 12-week programme at Gosforth Community Fire Station. 10 of us are unemployed and 3 of us have part-time jobs.
We feel that there isn't enough being done to get young people into employment in the North East.
We decided that we wanted to do something about it, to raise awareness of the issues young people face and try to find some answers why we struggle to get into employment.
We interviewed each other to see what our experiences were in looking for work and any barriers we faced looking for employment. Hi there, my name's Alisha Reid. I'm 21 years old from Longbenton and I've currently been unemployed for 7 months now.
Hello, my name is Corrie. I'm 23 years old. I have been unemployed for about 1.5 years and I am from Annitsford.
Hello, my name is Phillip. I'm 23. I'm from North Shields and I've been unemployed for about 6 to 7 months now.
I'm Clarke. I'm 19. I've been unemployed for 3 years and I live in Newbiggin Hall. Most of my experience has been trying to find work through the job centre, but 9 times out of 10 they just seem to get us in, do a quick job search and then get us straight out the door. They don't seem to try and put as much care into getting me the jobs that I actually want and actually want to do for a long-term career, and they're just trying to see us as a statistic and they just try and get us out the door.
Well, looking for a job is a job in itself and the job centre make it tricky to understand how to get money.
The 2 biggest barriers I face finding employment are lack of experience or lack of qualifications, but most employers won't allow me to get on-job training or any other form of training to use in the job, so I can't get the job that I actually want, and they won't let us get experience since there's no other jobs around that are similar to it.
The barriers that I face in finding employment are government cuts and too many people applying for the same job.
I've worked for the airport previously for SSP Catering Company. I worked there in the kitchens and serving customers and clearing tables. However, I heard a new job was coming up and I didn't really like the hours there because it was daft times, like 3 o'clock in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. So I thought I'd leave that job, start this new job at Willow Farm Restaurant Pub up at my place, which had just opened up, and laid us off in 2 weeks after the training because it took on too many staff.
The times I've been employed were good, and now because of the economic climate I'm in education. I've been in the joinery building trade since I left school and took time out to work in catering trade, where I was picked as regional apprentice for the North East and went to world famous Market Pier in London, where we ate the gherkin with politicians and took a master class in cooking eggs Benedict, among other things. This led to being in the papers, which I then bettered and getting into the sun for cooking in friends. As I am now unemployed with little luck, I am setting up my own business and progressing towards getting a trade as a joiner.
grow. I don't think there's enough help for young people. To be honest, I think the government could help a bit more by not putting us on this back to work programme which we brought out, which involves you having to go to do voluntary work over the course of about a year or so, and you only work for your door money, and it's like full-time work just about. Instead, I'd rather go get a proper job and work with proper wages. And I think government could help out by putting us on more courses. Like this course, the Prince's Trust, is really good because you can get qualifications and you learn how to team build, and you can actually work on your CV and stuff as well.
No, I don't think there is enough help out there at all for young people. I think the government should put on more courses like the Prince's Trust 12-week personal development programme to give them more job skills and make them more employable.
Following the interviews, we devised a set of questions that we could ask local agencies and employers who deal with young people in the North East.
We arranged interviews with representatives from Mcdonalds, Tyne Fire and Rescue Service, Zodiac Training, Professional People Management Limited, Acorn Computers and Job Centre Plus, Connexions, Tyne and Weir.
Hi, my name's Alan Darcy and I work for the fire service in Sunderland.
My name's Ernie Nolan. I'm a director of Acorn Computer Recycling. I set Acorn Computer Recycling up back in 2004, and one of the major things that we do is reuse and recycle unwanted electrical equipment. And in the process of doing that, we are able to give young people work experience, training and such things as that.
I'm Janine Stuart, I'm a shift manager at Blaydon Mcdonalds.
Hi, my name's John Smith. I'm a director of a company called Zodiac Training. We've been operating since 1996 and provide work-based learning opportunities to over 1,500 learners, working with over 500 small, medium and large companies in the North East. And we work with a variety of schools, unemployed people and those in work. And our ethos is to grow people, to grow business.
Hello, my name is Mark Wilkinson. I'm a Connexions advisor with Newcastle Connexions. We deliver a lot of advice, guidance, careers advice, vocational advice to young people, specialising particularly in the 13 to 19 age group.
My name's Maureen Lindberg. I'm a director of a company called Professional People Management Limited. We work with about 150 companies in the North East and we help them to manage their people, recruit their people, generally organise their business from all to do with their people side of it.
Hello, my name is Stephen Martin. I work for the External Partnership Team, the Director's Office in North East England. My particular role is working with partners to try and identify and create opportunities for unemployed people in the North East to find employment.
We decided that we would ask 3 questions to each interviewee, then from their answers we would be able to analyse them to see what advice we can give other young people out there to get ahead when it comes to employment. The questions we devised were:
what barriers do you think young people face in getting into employment? Why do you think there are so many young people unemployed in the North East? What does your organisation do to help young people?
I think the main issue is to do with general unemployment in the North East. The North East is being hit worse than other parts of the country at the moment. Traditionally, obviously, it's had a lot of industrial base which is gone. It's also had a lot of public sector workers, and they are being made unemployed a lot more in the North East at the moment. And I think when there are big periods of unemployment like that, it knocks back to young people, because suddenly the employment market has a lot of people who are perhaps a bit more mature, have life skills that employers are looking for, have academic qualifications that the employers are looking for, and they're suddenly, because they've been made redundant, are looking for the jobs that young people would have previously got into. and they're actually got a head start on those young people because they've got all of the experience behind them, and it's making it very difficult for young people to get employed at the moment.
I think there's three key areas. I think there are a lack of opportunities, a lack of jobs which are getting taken by experienced people, which is meaning that employers are looking for people who can hit the ground running, and therefore, because there's multiple applicants for every job, sometimes the people who are younger and the less experienced aren't getting an opportunity. I think that also there's some cultural and social factors. There's certain areas which are deprived areas, and there's a lack of role models for young people to get into work and give them the encouragement and the support that they need.
I think, as we're well aware, I think the whole country's had a little bit of a problem lately with the numbers of people who are unemployed and looking for work. And yes, if you look in terms of percentages, the North East seems to have been affected a little bit more, a little bit harder than other parts of the country. But I think if you look on the positive side of things, although there are a lot of young people unemployed at the moment, there are also a lot of new opportunities that are becoming available. As you're probably aware, Nissan have made a very big commitment to working in the North East. We also have new and developing industries. We have with the Green Centre in Blythe that's looking to identify and to start liaise with employers who work in the wind industry, electricity and hydroelectricity. So I think although there are a lot of young people unemployed at the moment, they're not the same young people. And what I mean by that is when you see government figures or statistics quoted, people often think it's the same young people who are sitting as unemployed and claiming GSA for a long time. We'll have a constant turnover of young people actually moving into employment. What our job is as Job Centre Plus is to try and give those young people every advantage, make them aware of all the help and assistance that's available to them, to try and help them become one of those people who don't move through to the work programme, which is aimed at long-term unemployed people, and that they do actually hopefully find themselves employment reasonably quickly. Yeah.
I mean, the expected answer there is due to the downturn in the economy. That is one of the major factors, obviously. But again, I think it goes back to the expectations of the youth, back to home life, if you like, school life, where they don't instill any confidence in them. Students I always think are a brilliant example. Students in college are a brilliant example because they can be so versatile. Yes, they're concentrating on whatever it is they went to university for, whether it be an architect or things like that, but they're quite happy to do bar work, cleaning work, on the way to that major goal. So versatility is one of the major things, and that goes back to the expectations from home life again. If there's no expectations of them, that transfers over to the youth.
The three main barriers, I think, is experience. Is that every job needs you to have so much experience first, but I don't think you can get the experience without getting the job. It's like another cycle. You just can't get in the job to get experience to then get another one, which is quite hard. But I also think the young people I meet in Sunderland and Newcastle, their ambition is quite low. They've been told you can't achieve much from careers advisors from schools, so they start aiming at things they think they could do rather than want to do. So when they don't have any passion for it, they don't actually strive harder for it. So the ambition is quite low. And also, I think when I speak to young people about would you work in Mcdonalds or would you work in Poundland, they go, nah, I wouldn't do that. So it's the willingness to take a job, any job to start with, and then work up from that. I think a lot of people want to get an amazing job first. But if they get the experience at ground level in any job, then they can work up from that. But it's that experience at first that stops it.
If you go right back to the beginning, I think one of the major barriers is home life and the lack of expectations of the youth of today. And I think that comes out because of, it's partly due to the economic situation, lots of places closing down, and then the parents think, well, there's not much hope for my kids for the future. And that transfers over to the young people. And they become less confident in themselves?
I think there's a number of barriers that young people face at this moment in time, but a lot of them are not new barriers. We tend to find that there are common issues that stay with unemployed people when they're trying to look for work. I think the first thing that young people need is sound careers advice and guidance, whether that be from the Connexions service, whether that be from schools, or the Next Step service that Job Centre Plus liaise with very closely. And I think without oversimplifying the problem, the first issue for a person is identifying what type of work they want to do, the skills and qualifications they need in order to do that work, but also a sense of a reality check as to is that type of work available in the location where they live. What we sometimes find is young people have a particular interest in a job and really want to do it, but it's not readily available in the locality where they live.
And I think it really is getting in the first step in, really, to get into companies.
Right.
I think really, I think one of the sort of big barriers is having the skills that employers are looking for, and I think a lot of work takes place in organisations like the Prince's Trust. And also, to be fair, when people are in school, there's a lot of PSHE programs looking at the skills that employers are looking for, trying to make sure that young people are aware of what employers are after in young people. And I think it's really important that young people sort of pick up those sort of skills. In addition to that, it must be said, the qualification level for going into jobs has changed an awful lot over the last 5 or 10 years. When I started as a careers advisor 30 years ago, a lot of jobs were out there asking for no qualifications whatsoever. Motor mechanics, construction, they didn't require qualifications. Now they're looking for people that have got C grades at GCSE in maths and English. So I think getting those key subjects at sort of middling GCSE grades is also an important thing for young people, because it is a very competitive market out there at the moment.
I understand that.
Jake?
I think there is obviously the lack of jobs, but the reason for the lack of jobs, I think, is people staying in employment. The retirement age is being abolished, and I think that has a definite impact on what's available for young people to do. That's one of the barriers. The other barriers is in this economic climate, companies aren't really taking a chance. They're bolting down and going with what they've got, so the opportunities are just diminishing for young people at the moment.
Zodiac's been working with young people for over 15 years now. We work with schools in terms of trying to find people who maybe aren't attending school, find them work placements. We also work with over 500 employers and try and match their vacancies and try and fill them with people who are 16 to 18 and get them embarking on an apprenticeship programme, and also run a number of employability courses to help those people who are looking for work, provide them with the best opportunity in terms of how to attend an interview and give them the best chance of securing employment.
One of the major things the Acorn does is give young people work experience, because that enables them to build their confidence up. I always say there's only 2 things required to come to Acorn, that's interest and enthusiasm, and everything else can be learned. But work experience is one of the major things to build young people's confidence.
I would say 70% of our staff are young students, things like that. They're very flexible, so if they've got studies to do, or if they've got kids, they work night shifts or weekends. So we're quite flexible. Mcdonalds is flexible for young people.
Although we do have a lot of our work from the 16 to 19-year-old group, and also we do work up to 25 for people that have particular difficulties, people who are sort of disabled or have sort of education difficulty. We work up to 25, but our main core work is the 13 to 19 group. The 16 to 19, we're here to advise them on opportunities through foundation learning, opportunities at college courses. We will go with them to college courses if they need that, to give them that one-to-one support. I think a lot of our work is also lower down the school, making sure young people understand what skills they need and what is out there. I mean, I was watching something on the television with Prince Charles talking about the Princess Trust interview, introducing some, what they call them, progression mentors, they were called, I think, saying that he didn't think there were enough people making sure that young people knew what was on offer. But that is our job, to make sure that you know what is on offer. So we work with all young people in years 9, 10 and 11 to make sure they understand what opportunities are there and, more importantly, how they would go about applying for things. So as I say, it's a lot of one-to-one. Our job is very much one-to-one work, ensuring you know about the options available and getting applications and helping you with those applications, and then going along if needs be to help to support you when you're actually going for interviews and things like that.
I work with about 150 smaller employers in the North East, and I advise them and help them with all their employment issues, including their structures and their staffing, what people they should take on, what people they should let go. And I actively encourage them to look at, particularly apprentice schemes are good, and because the cost's limited, but to try and create roles for young people and give them a chance to have a go, because I think there's a little bit of a perception that young people don't want to work or they're not as flexible, and actually the reverse is the case. Young people in the workplace now are far more flexible than people of 45, 50. They go in there, they've got an open idea about what they want to do. So my organisation tries to get my clients to look at and give it a chance, and actually it is working in a couple of areas.
What the Job Centre does really is try and look at the individual person's need. We have a whole range of support under the Get Britain Working Measures, work clubs, work experience, sector-based work academies and so on. We also, as I mentioned previously, have the work programme for those customers who are longer term unemployed. But I think most importantly what we do offer for young people, and what's recently announced by the government, is a new range of packages which are looking to help employers who've never taken an apprentice on before to take the first apprentice, and there's a financial reward for that. Also, our work programme providers also have access to a wage subsidy, so that those young people who unfortunately have moved through to the work programme, which means that they've been looking for work for 9 months or longer, to try and generate the interest from the employer and to try and give that young person a bit of a kickstart to gain an employment. They also have access to recruitment subsidies to try and help work with the employer to formulate a plan to try and overcome any real or perceived lack of skills that the young person may have. I think, going back to one of the earlier questions you asked before about what is the biggest problem for young people finding a job, I think quite often, for what, as an ex-advisor myself who works with young people, and I'm a father with 2 young sons coming up to the time when they're choosing their options, it's just that chance to prove themselves to an employer. A lot of young people just simply want the opportunity to go into a workplace to prove and demonstrate what they can do. And I think the fact that the government have acknowledged that there is an issue with the numbers of young people looking for work, and are trying to help employers take that leap to give those young people that first chance on the employment ladder, I think is a very positive development.
I think the fire service in the North East does a lot, including they do the young firefighters, which gives young people the chance to develop their firefighting skills, which helps their team building, so that when they apply for jobs they can use that as evidence. They also run a Phoenix project in Newcastle, Gateshead and Sunderland, which helps young people that are former offenders or at risk of offending improve themselves to get them onto a proper track. They also run a Princess Trust team programme in Newcastle and Sunderland, which again helps young unemployed people get the chance to learn new skills that they can take into a workplace or training environment. And I think at headquarters in Barmston they also do work experience placements for students that are not part of any fire service programme. So if you're at school or college or doing uniform public service, you can still do work experience with the fire service. So it works harder with young people than people might think. It's really works hard.
Everyone is aware that due to the constant publicity in tabloids and on the news, adults also struggle to find work as well as young people, meaning everyone is up against each other when applying for the jobs that are available, which makes finding a job that bit harder for everyone, especially young people with no experience.
We recommend that whilst you're applying for jobs, you do that bit extra and get signed up onto a training course to improve your CV and personal skills. There are many training providers and agencies in the North East that can help better yourself and point you in the right direction. Zodiac Training, who we interviewed, offer training opportunities, and the Prince's Trust 12-week personal development programme is an excellent opportunity to gain new skills and experiences.
Following our interviews, we got together and looked at what each person said when we interviewed them. This allowed us to piece together all the information and analyse the findings.
Although we had interviewed a range of people from different organisations and agencies, the answer had a common theme running through them. We found that the biggest barriers young people face when looking to get into employment were lack of experience and expectation, lack of opportunities, shortage of jobs, getting the right guidance, having the skills and knowledge to need to get the job.
The main points we took from the question we asked: why are there so many unemployed young people in the North East? Were
employers looking for people with past experience, lack of opportunity in the North East, young people lacking confidence and their expectations are not high, loss of industry in the North East, companies closing down who used to take on young people.
We spoke to Dale Toner, a past participant on the Prince's Trust 12-week programme at Gosforth Community Fire Station, and he told us about his experiences and how it helped him get a job.
Well, I left school when I was 16, which was 3 years ago. For like 2 years I was on and off like little courses at college and stuff like that. Had really no I lost hope sort of thing really, I thought, never mind. Then I come this course here, which lasted 12 weeks, and then from there they helped us with my CV, got us into work experience for 2 weeks, which gives a great deal, helped us thought, I like work now, because when I did give up hope I literally thought, nah, I'm not bothered, I didn't want a job no more. Then since then I've applied for a job with Your Homes Newcastle, which got me an interview and everything, then was successful at that, and then I had a 6-month contract with them, which is involved stuff like I work with walker and biker, just clean the streets. I go out with the council on the vans and stuff like that, pick up fly tips, help elderly people with the garden and stuff like that. It's a good job so I do put most of my thanks down to this course, so it's a really
Although there are not a lot of jobs out there today, don't give up hope. Dale didn't, and he landed himself a job from sticking in and doing that bit extra.
Connexions, Tyne and Weir and Job Centre Plus are two services that are commonly known by everyone, both employed or unemployed. We feel that they are not utilised enough by young people, as we have often had negative experiences when using their services.
If you are unemployed and want to kickstart your life, do something about it. Whether you know what career direction you want to take or you are still unsure, use these agencies.
If you are 16, 19, get yourself down to your local connection office and speak to an advisor. They are there to help you with whatever career advice you need. Use them to find out as much information you can about jobs, courses and other opportunities that may be available to you.
If you are 18 or over, you may be entitled to claim job seekers allowance. You will be assigned an advisor who you can use to find out what you want to know about certain careers, and also, like Connexions, any courses or other opportunities that may be out there.
If you don't ask, you won't find out. From our interviews, we have came up with our top 5 tips.
If you are not doing anything, get yourself enrolled in a course or training programme like the Prince's Trust Team Programme. These courses will provide you with quality skills and experiences that will help you get into work.
Use Connexions and the Job Centre to find out as much information you can about possible careers and opportunities.
Keep your CV updated. Always have your CV ready, as you never know when you need it, and always add any new work or courses you may do.
Find an organisation like Acorn that will give you a work placement and offer you skills and experience that will be essential when looking for work.
And finally, number 5, doing all these things will make you better than the next person, and one day it might help you get a job.
Thank you for watching our short documentary on youth unemployment. We hope you can take something from this to get on in life.